Let's jump into it. So Buxus Cranberry Creek. So, we're kind of short on the bigger sizes like the 7s and 15s on any kind of pyramidal boxwood, which is basically the Cranberry Creek or the Green Mountain. But we got some really nice looking pushing over spec Cranberry Creeks. You can see there, they're in the PTW program. This is Willoway introduction from several years ago that we run through this program. And we got really good availability. We have 10,000 of these. They all, I can pull you 10,000 that look like the photo there. So sell with confidence there. And, we just got to keep trying to push this as a sub. I know it's difficult. People are really looking for that 5, 7, or 15, those bigger sizes, but those are going to be extremely limited. So just let them know that these are a little bigger than that 18-inch, and hopefully we can help them out. Chamaecyparis obtusa compacta. So these here are 3s. Do we have any 7s available, Sharon? So we're sold out on the 7s. But you can see here, this is another one that's pushing, above its grade. It's pushing towards that 24. And we got some good body to these too. So sometimes you can see these are pretty thin. I've seen people try to sell them a lot thinner, but we do a lot of trimming on them to get them shaped up. We don't have a lot of them. We have 114 of them still left available, but hopefully you can also talk about those if somebody's looking for something a little bigger. Maybe we can push them into the 3. Ilex Royal Family. So we're still sitting real good on these. You can see there the excellent sizing on these. We have 6,000. Remember, this is Prince and Princess in the same pot, so they don't have to worry about a pollinator. So they're all ready to go. So they can sell them one at a time. So if they just got somebody that walks into their store and needs one, they can grab one and they're all set. So, but we got great sizing. This can also go to the landscaper wholesale side. You can see there, we're definitely pushing into the 5-gallon type sizing, 24, almost coming up on 24, 18 to 24. So the bigger ones might be a little short out there, but you can also offer this one too to help fill the gap. Ilex Willimer. This is an introduction that we did quite a few years ago. It is a compact grower. We did submit this, just so you know, to be considered for possible introduction into the Handpick for You synergy program. So we're in the early stages of that, but that's how much we believe in this plant. We think that this plant is very unique. It's it definitely has a fit in the landscape. Gives you that texture. The blue-green type leaf, very glossy, but it's a low grower, almost a spreader. So still get berries on it. You don't really need a pollinator on this one, so that's kind of cool. It can somewhat self-pollinate. And we have 3,000 of these, real nice size package. Juniper Blue Point. So this is a 3-gallon. Are we out of 7s, sure?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're out of 7s. So we wanted to show you these 3s. We're tipping 30. It's not a 7-gallon size, but it's a nice, healthy 24-inch plant. That's what we have available. It's very limited. Uprights in general are very limited right now. I don't see a lot of availability out there from anybody. So talk about these as an option. And the next crops usually on the junipers won't be ready till sometime in June. Junipers take quite a bit longer to really get any kind of meaningful growth out of them. It's usually right at the first week of June before we get enough growth to start resizing. So Blue Star. So yep, we got some 3s and 2s. We're cruising down on the numbers. Blues, continue to be very popular in the juniper realm. The other junipers, they might be falling out of favor a little more. They still have a following, but definitely you're talking blue stars, you're talking gray owl. Um, there's really a need for that blue color and a conifer out there. So you can see there we got great size on our 3 and really good size on the 2. You know, typically when I look at this number, it makes me a little nervous. There might not be enough there to get us through the entire spring season. So you might want to, you know, you got somebody on the fence, you might want to encourage them to grab them up while they can still get them. Wilton blue rug. So this is an oldie but a goodie. You know, this is your spreader ground cover type juniper. You can see there, we got a real nice 3-gallon, got great size. You can cover a lot of square footage with just this one 3-gallon. We're out of 2s right now. So, you know, you can sub into the 3, but, you know, it's also worth talking about. Yeah, it's a little more money, but look at your square footage. Just look at your square footage of cover. It's still going to be the same price per square foot when you're talking about an area that you need to cover. Whether you're using a 2 or this nice heavy 3, it really comes down to you just trading dollars on the size. So hopefully we can make that work. Picea glauca conica. I know coming from the West Coast, these are pretty rough, kind of limited. The West Coast has always flooded our market. And you know, and then they've had periods where sometimes they don't have them and they have too many. And this is one of those commodity plants that can give us trouble. But right now it seems like the market might be a little light on glauca conicas. You know, ours look great. We got a real nice 3-gallon. We got 400 available. I don't know, do we have anything bigger, Cheryl?
There's a handful of 15.
Just a few. You know, the West Coast took a lot of damage on this from the heat. This plant doesn't particularly like real hot temperatures when it's trying to flush, and they had that worst case scenario with fires and that heat and the smoke can do damage to them. So they actually caused some needle drop, and then they tried to re-break. So they're not going to look as nice as what ours look like here. So. Nitiformis. So you can see there, we're coming out of winter looking really good. Nitiformis got some great color, well over our spec. We really go by the width on this one here. So good, solid, heavy 12, 15 inch. And we've done a lot of work with this plant over the years to make sure that we produce a good uniform crop. This plant here can be susceptible to black vine weevil. We do put a treatment in our soil to keep black vine weevil from getting out there. So we actually incorporate it into our soil so the black vine weevil can't survive in our soil. So we're able to ship a good, clean, healthy plant. That's a very important part of our protocol that we do to keep that thing insect free. So Picea glauca pendula. So it looks like we're going to the field. So we still have some availability here. We still have some horsepower to dig through our dig windows. So I'll take a look at these. We got some great looking 60s and 72s, a handful of 84s. But there's a few there. We'd like to get a little more movement on this material. You can see there, we're right at the right heights. We start to let them go once we get to certain heights, just so they start to kind of free form out a little bit, get some character to them. So, that's a great plant. It seems to resist somewhat the needle cast out there. Mostly needle cast, it's more environment. So it really tries to attack spruce that get older and more dense growth. So if you have a plant that allows air movement through it, like this doesn't get real wide, those plants tend to resist needle cast a lot better that can do that. I know that's a big problem out there. in the industry right now is a lot of people are just saying, I want to stay away from blues. But this one here, as long as you put it in an area where there's good air movement, will perform very well. So, okay, and last but not least, Strobus pendula. So this is a weeping white pine. You can see they're very similar. We grow them up to the heights, and then we let them start forming out. People can take them and keep training them up if they want, or they'll kind of start to free form out. They always tend to send their dominant leader up, and then it'll start to pendulum down. So they'll still get higher and higher and higher without training, but you can get there a lot faster if you stake it and train it up, depending on what height you want to finish it at. But great looking color. Cheryl, was this a today photo?
Yes, actually it was.
Yeah, so
Yesterday.
yesterday photo. So you can see there, we came through winter with really good color. You can see the hemlock in the background. I was really impressed with the color that we have on the hemlock this year. Usually, coming out of winter, we have, you get the browner colors coming from winter. I didn't see that much. That has a lot to do with our moisture. A big thing that shuts plants down, because these plants grow all winter. They're not putting new growth on, but they're still active and they're still doing their thing. A lot of times we get dry periods in the winter, and that really stunts them and slows them down and causes that browning, less chlorophyll. So having adequate moisture is really good. We got great moisture out there in the fields. So I think this spring digging season is looking really good for getting started next week. And I know that Mark got us a list, so we got our first round. We're going to be digging Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and starting to get trucks set up. So looks like we're off and running. Looks like we got good weather for next week. So make sure that you communicate with Mark for any of your needs, and I'm sure he's reaching out to all of you. So I know that Jacob's all ready to go. He's getting his tag list run and tagged, and the guys are out there tagging, and they've test run the spades. I think we're ready to go. So we did get all of our burlap and all of our baskets. You guys may get a question from some of your customers. Can we spare some burlap? Can we spare some baskets? Because some of your customers, I'm sure, also dig. You can ask. I'm not sure what the answer will be. It depends what somebody's looking for. I'm not really looking to get into that business, but I am sensitive to that, and I do want to try to help our customers when we can. But we just have enough to handle our needs. And as difficult as it was for us to get our material, I got to believe, especially people who do less digging than we do and have less buying power, I'm sure they're struggling. So if you got anybody, you can always forward a request, and we'll see what we can do, but no promises. All right,